tere, me oleme Loomus Akadeemia eetris ja vahetan kohe inglise keele peale, sellepärast et minu külaline on täna Katrin P, kes on muidu Saksamaalt ja sakslane, kuigi nimi kõlab väga eestipäraselt. Aga me vestleme omavahel siis inglise keeles. Hello, Katrin. We are here on Loomus Academy and talking about animals and testing or using animals on veterinary studies. And you told me some interesting stories, so that's why I wanted to invite you here to talk about that topic a little bit more. Thank you so much for agreeing to do that. And
Thank you for having me.
and my first question is, who are you? Why did you study this?
Yes, so I'm Katrin. I'm from Germany and I studied veterinarian medicine. Let me guess. Think back, it was from 2005 to 2011. I studied in Munich, and yeah, of course, I decided to become a vet because I love animals, and I have a background. So my parents are have a medical background, so I was always interested in that. So yeah, I started my my studies, and I think for everyone that starts this topic, it's always we come because we love animals, but it's soon you realize that you are that you are confronted with a lot of things that are that seem cruel, and you have to use animals in a way to study things, for example, in chemistry or in practical exams. So yeah, I'm happy to talk about this today with you, about the downsides of this study. Yeah.
So about being a student in
Mhm.
university,
Mhm.
how was this studying period?
Mhm.
What did you do?
So it is a very tough study. So you basically start with all the groundwork in biochemistry, chemistry and physics and anatomy. So basically, for the first 2 years, you don't see an actual live animal in your study. So you're basically confronted with a lot of uh, dead animals on the table where you study anatomy, and also you do some physics exams, or we learn some of the ground science on dead rats or mice or even frogs. So we had, of course, to study the organs, or yeah basically everything else. And then later on, you start to learn how to make like real examinations on animals, and that's where we uh, yeah used live animals to study. For example, take a blood sample or check the animal of any pain or injury. So yeah, it's basically a lot of this, but also a lot of what you don't know. It's veterinarian medicine is a lot about studying food science from animal, food from animals. So milk, eggs, meat. As a vet, you have to take care of these things as well. So yeah.
But after these 2 years, when you had
Mhm.
all these different subjects and dead animals to learn about where some organs are probably. How did it go forward, and how were you introduced to life, and what did you do?
Mhm. So, because we were a lot of students, it's basically you you have to take care of getting all your knowledge, not just in the studies, but also in your real life. So maybe make an internship uh, by your vet in town or something else. So basically, in when you study it, it's like it was normal that there's maybe, for example, taking blood samples. There were a few pigeons, and every student could have one try to take a blood sample, and that's it. Of course, if you think about these animals, it's a stressful situation being handled, being injected multiple times. Um, and on the other hand, for us, practicing it one more time, it doesn't give me any practical knowledge. So yeah, it's sometimes you ask yourself, what's the point of this practice now? Or another example is that we had to um, make a cesarean section for a sheep. So it's basically where, the lamb is cut out of the womb of the sheep, and there was no medical indication for this, so it was just for practical reasons that we see this process. So we were a lot of students in the operation room, and everybody was allowed to make one cut or one one little thing, and then the next one should take over. If you think from the perspective of the animal, this was quite cruel to go through that process without any reason.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But as a student and as a group of students,
Mhm.
did you have any discussions about that topic, about using animals, or mm, discussing this, using animals as a method to learn?
Mhm. Not very much. So it was, of course, we were asked to be very careful and caring and not, make the best, bring the best we have, but we had no no talks like this. For
Hmm.
example, I we when we were in the clinic for pigs, we had to learn how to castrate piglets. I don't know if you know this, that piglets are, when they are born in the first days, the male pigs, they are castrated without any painkiller, without anything. They are fixated, and this is a very brutal thing, very hurtful procedure. And normally, the farmers are doing this. And our professor asked us as a group that we should do this procedure as well. And this is where we asked him, but what's the point? Because we never did this. This might be more stressful and more challenging for the animal. But um, even there, it wasn't accepted. Our opinion. I'm sure in some universities it's different, but from in my in my point of view, I never experienced a talk about using animals for our study and if there is a welfare problem. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. But after the studies, then, how is it the work life of the veterinarian? Uh,
Mhm.
what are the main things you started to do, or what veterinarians do in their work?
Mhm. So it's if you study this, there's very much diversity what you can do. You can actually work maybe just with companion animals or with farm animals or in the zoo, or you go and further in science, or you even maybe just start career in pharma pharmacology. I don't know. Sorry, now I forgot the words. So usually people want to start in a practice and actually become a vet and treat animals. And this is what I decided. So after my exams, I basically immediately got a job uh, out of out of um, out of Munich in a little town, and yeah, started to work as an assistant vet. Yeah. And you are basically thrown into the water. You come from the university, and um, as I said, the you have a lot of knowledge, but the training is very little. So in my first weeks, I really had to learn so many stuff, and I was dependent on my bosses to show me
Mm-hmm.
uh, the work I have to do. And I worked with mostly with farm animals and also some companion animals. So I treated
Mm-hmm.
mostly cows, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. The thing what
Yeah.
was most interesting for me when we had this talk before, and was that you felt that as a veterinarian, one of your jobs, or the most important job, was to make this industry going,
Mhm.
and not even this welfare of an animal. How would you comment that?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's somehow there's an error in the system, and I think we talked about this when we met, that we don't. I mean, in our society, we are used to eat a lot of meat, eat a lot of animal products. These products have to be made. The prices are very cheap. There's no value in consuming these products, and I learned very quickly that I don't want to blame the farmers, because they are also just trying to survive. But actually, this little money they get, you can imagine that they don't have much money left to treat the animals right. And for me, I studied veterinarian medicine to help animal and to cure injuries and to cure suffering. But I very quickly learned that I visit these farms just to cure the cow in a way that this cow can produce again. So it wasn't about the animal. It was always about how do we cure this uh, cure this animal, that it can be productive again and give milk. And you always have to think about which medicine you give to the animal, because if you inject antibiotics or some painkillers, the farmer is not allowed to. So the farmer has to throw away this milk, actually, because it's contaminated. So you always think about, okay, which medicine do I give, what to do, that the system is going. And this was very depressing for me. Or, I mean, yeah, even like every day, in and out, I um, injected cows to become pregnant, and this was just this process about yeah, delivering a calf. The calf is taken away from the mother, then the mother is becoming pregnant again, and this is just a cycle that after some years it's really depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when did you start to question these methods or this
Mhm.
kind of work?
Uh, Actually, it started very early at university, still, because you are confronted with these things about the food industry and all this stuff. But I think I was confronted in the very first weeks when you are I don't yeah when you are called for um yeah for example, it was always very difficult for me to make a difference, because I don't make a difference between a dog or a cow, but you could see uh, from the beginning that uh, that we as a vet, we make a difference because of the owners. Of course, a dog owner is interested in doing everything they can to treat an animal, to treat the dog, to treat the cat. And on the other way around, on the farms, it's about money and making, yeah, decisions for the industry. And this is something that made me sad and made me leave my job.
Mm-hmm. How long did you do your job then?
Mhm. Almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a job application for my job now to work in animal welfare, and I thought this is much more suitable.
Mm-hmm.
Although I really miss, of course, I miss the work,
Being with animals, you mean?
being with animals, and also there were some farmers I really loved them. They were just kind people, and they had their interest was about their animals, but
Mm-hmm.
of course they have to every month they have to see the money that comes in and goes out. So yeah, sometimes I miss it, but I'm happy not to be in this position anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there some animal sanctuaries? It sounds like you could be very happy in animal sanctuary.
Yes, there are some, and I sometimes I think about when I'm getting older that I maybe start a sanctuary and just yeah collect every animal that is in need. But of
But
course,
which animals? Because I have heard of and also visited some sanctuaries, for example, like for farmed animals or for
mhm,
uh, uh, bears, and there are very different
mhm,
ones.
there are different ones, and also I mean, I think in Europe now, circuses are more and
Mhm.
more,
Closing.
phasing out,
Mhm.
closing, which is good, but so who takes care of the animals? So there will be sanctuaries, hopefully, that take care of them. But yeah, my heart belongs to cows. They are just
Mm.
very wonderful creatures, and
Mm.
yeah,
So you
I'm
could do
dreaming
a
about this.
cow sanctuary.
Yes,
Okay, very
or
interesting.
maybe because this is our topic, or maybe for fish. There's not a sanctuary. There are no sanctuaries for fish, no. So maybe we have to start this.
Yeah, this fish part, like about animals, it's even worse, it seems, maybe because people are really, if some people understand that cows still have feelings and they have this face you can relate to somehow, they are kind of very soft and cute. Yeah, but fish, It's even the saying that cold as a fish. It's of course not true,
Yeah.
but they are so different from us. They live in the water, so
Mm.
we kind of don't understand of them. So sanctuary could be a very good thing to do to also to get this knowledge out there that also fish need a place to live and not to be used only as a food or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So of course, in the sanctuary, we treat them and then we let them free go their way again. But
Yeah, with fishes it
yeah.
could be possible probably because with cows it's not so possible to leave them
Mm, yeah.
go
Yeah.
freely.
Yes. Yes.
In Estonia, there was, I think last summer, the if I remember correctly, there were at least uh, two times where a cow um, went away, escaped
Mhm. Mhm.
with its calf, I think.
Mhm.
And so people were really kind of attached to it, like where did it go and how it's living in nature. And in summer, of course, it's possible. There is plenty of food.
Mm.
And then I remember at least one time they got caught and were shot.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We have here in Munich, the slaughterhouse is right in the city, and we have some incidences where cows get free in front of the slaughterhouse and they run through the city, and basically in the end, sadly, they are always shot. But I'm always amazed how how they try to survive. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true.
Yeah. Have you had contact with other veterinarians? Do others also have this kind of thinking or discussions within themselves or with others?
Yeah, I think a lot of veterinarians that work in animal welfare had this discussions or this are trying to yeah live according to their values more and to focus on animal welfare and animal rights. So of course all my wonderful colleagues or some friends yeah decided to go yeah another path. And yeah,
Hmm.
I think from in my job this it was sometimes a bit difficult to I don't know, maybe to talk about veganism, being a vet, treating farm animal. Uh, Somehow this doesn't go hand in hand. And yeah, I have
Hmm.
some friends that just decided to do something else. Yeah.
Hmm. But what is your suggestion? How can this system be changed, or what should we as society decide to do? How to move forward?
Mm, yeah. So, for example, I think starting with the study, I think I wish there would have been a lot of more focus on animal welfare. It was a topic, but just compared to all this anatomy and chemistry, it was just a very tiny bit. And I would hope that I hope that the universities or veterinarian medicine start to yeah at least, I mean, my studies is now a long time ago, but I hope that things will change. Also, that all these animals are not used for practical exams, or yeah, that there are some other methods to study but not use a live animal. Um, this would be very much needed. Um, Also, yeah. the focus, I would wish that the focus on food would be different, because yeah, as a vet, or when you study vet, you have to actually learn how meat is prepared and sausages are made. You even in an exam you have to taste a sausage or meat for taste or sensory reasons. So there's a lot of things that could be changed, or the student could decide, okay, I want to go in this direction, so I focus more on this, so that you don't have to learn everything and basically, yeah, go against your core values. And yeah, I hope that um, that society changes, of course, and we go more to plant-based um, foods, and yeah, farming that doesn't where animals don't have to suffer so much. So we as a vet, we could actually treat animals according to their needs and not to food industry needs, or capitalism needs. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it does make sense, but um, hopefully it makes sense also for others. Because really, as you said also in the beginning, usually people want to help animals, so whoever starts to study to be a veterinarian, they probably want to help animals. And then when it comes out that maybe you have to do some other parts during the studies or during your work, then you have to think again. And maybe one thing would be to describe better what this study is about and what life as a veterinarian will be
Hmm.
about.
Hmm.
Because as a food industry, there are a lot of mystery and closed doors, and society doesn't know really what is behind these doors, how these animals are kept, which procedures are made. So maybe this kind of openness would help people to decide and make decisions where they really know the information before they gonna make a decision about their life calling,
Hmm.
or also about the food they eat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. I don't have any questions at the moment. Do you have
Mhm.
something else what you would like to add?
Mm. So maybe as an addition, I really love this science and this practical work to become a vet, and I don't want to discourage people not to start their studies, because it is wonderful, and there are a lot of nice people out there that put animal welfare first, and you actually can make a change if you decide for that path. It's just I'm always happy to, if I have some friends that think about becoming a vet. You have to be considerative, that you have to meet uh, uh, or you will come to hard decisions and situations, and you will be confronted with animal suffering without actually a reason for it. So be prepared and do it anyway, and make a difference. So this would be my ad.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for everyone who listened, and see you next time.